Hey guys, what's up? It's Stephanie. I have another video for you guys this week, and the topic for today is going to be about what classes am I taking this semester. So what classes and how many hours am I taking my first semester of PA school. So I just want to talk about that. So if you're interested, I'll talk to you guys soon. Bye. Alright guys, so how many hours am I taking this semester? I am taking 17 hours. So 17 hours, and to be honest with you guys, it's a lot. It really is, especially being that I have been out of school for the past 2 years. You know, it's been difficult to try to get back into the studying mode and trying to find a good way to study for me. I've learned that I am a very visual person, so aside from reading, I also have to visually see the information. So this is where YouTube has come into play. YouTube has helped me out a lot. I've also subscribed to a lot of subscriptions. For example, Osmosis is one of them. Picmonic, which it has been great for showing me pharmacology, because pharmacology is all about memorization, but I felt like I needed to visually see something, so Picmonic comes into hand with that. It's silly, but it really has helped me get and understand the information in pharmacology. So like I said, it's a high course load, and the classes are difficult. So to be honest with you guys, I have been struggling, but I have been able to keep at bay and get good grades. Not as high as I wanted to, but I am working on that, and I try to be honest with you guys as much as I can, so this is me being honest. I have to do better in my classes, get higher grades. So for my school, you have to get an 80 or above on your exams. If you get anything lower than an 80, you are required to go talk to your advisor. So as a class of 80 students, we were all assigned an advisor, which is a faculty member that you talk to whenever you get, you're not doing good in your classes, or you just have questions, or etc. You just want to talk to them. So this is where we have our advisors. So if you get a score lower than an 80, you are required to go talk to your advisor. Now, if you get a score lower than a 70, you are required to talk to your advisor, and also you're required to talk to the professor of the class that you got lower than a 70. So that's why I always try to aim to get higher than an 80 if I can. Try to get a 90 or higher because I want to pass, guys. I want to become a physician assistant. So that's just a little bit of information about my school. I'm sorry guys, I'm getting over a cold. So I'm taking 17 hours. What classes am I taking this semester? I am taking Studies in PA Profession, which is basically a class that teaches you about the PA career. So how it started, when it was created, who created it, what the PA profession is, the relationship you have of a PA with the physician, what boundaries PAs have, etc. So this is what this class is. It's a 1-hour class. I have this class once a week. So I go to school Monday, Wednesday. Well, I go to school every day, but Monday, Wednesday, and Friday, I go to class usually from 8 to 4. Wednesdays tend to be longer. I'll be there from 8 to 6. So this is where I have the bulk of my classes. And then Tuesdays and Thursdays, I have labs. Tuesday, I have my anatomy lab, and then Thursday, I'll have my patient encounter class. So another class that I'm taking is my anatomy class. We have a cadaver lab, so we have our anatomy class, lecture, and lab. And then I also have my pathophysiology class. Pathophysiology just teaches you about, as it says, physiology. So usually the first lecture that we go to, so basically our entire semester is divided for the first semester into modules. So we just finished our immunology and hematology module, where we learned about, how the immunology system works, the hematology system works, and also what diseases, the patho, so the patho side also, what diseases or most common diseases are you to see or you see in patients whenever they come in for immunology issues or hematology. So you look at the physiology part, and then you have ICM, which is my other class, which is like a clinical medicine class. And this is where you learn how to diagnose these patients, what symptoms they will come in with, and what is the best treatment for them. So that's that is another one of my classes. Another class that I have is called EKG, where we learn to read an EKG. That class has actually been very challenging for me. I've had seen EKGs before, but I had never physically read one, so it's really interesting to see what the waves mean in between in an EKG, you know, what they mean if they are farther apart from each other, if you have several QRS waves, which are the waves in a EKG, if you have lack of QRS waves. So that's what that class is for, is how to read an EKG. And then I also have my radiology class, which is how to read an X-ray. So what does it mean when you see a chest X-ray? And also my pharmacology class. And finally, I would say my other class is my patient encounter lab, or my patient encounter class. So you have the lecture part and you have the lab. So if you guys have seen me post videos of how to obtain patient history, how to obtain past medical history, family history, etc. These videos are actually required for my patient encounter class. We have a lecture and a lab portion. And for my lab portion, every student in my class was required to create a YouTube account and to record themselves weekly of what we are learning in the lab. So 1 week, for example, we learned how to obtain patient history, how to obtain a cheap complaint, what questions to ask, how to obtain a past medical history, family history, etc. So every week we're required to interview a student or a family member. Usually we just interview each other, and what questions to ask. And then we submit these videos to our professors, and our professor will then critique us on what we can better on and what we are lacking, etc. So they'll critique us on that. That's also one of my other classes. Alright guys, so these are my classes for my semester. Like I said, I am taking 17 hours. My most challenging one has been, I would say, pathophysiology. Interestingly, I thought it was going to be pharmacology, but I actually that was my highest grade on all my exams. Interestingly, I don't know how, but it was my highest grade. So I'm struggling right now with pathophysiology, but I'm watching all the videos because I learned I'm a very visual person, and I'm trying to be prepared and know the information. Because if you get behind, that's when you start struggling. And I think that's what happened my first round of exams, which I didn't make a video about, is that I just got behind. So it's really important not to get behind. I know it's a lot of information, but I think it's really important not to get behind, because then you're struggling. And that's what happened to me. I started focusing too much time on pharmacology, and I didn't focus enough time on the other classes. So it's really important to be equal and not just focus all your time on one class, because you get behind, which was what happened to me. Alright guys, so this is my classes, 17 hours, go to school Monday through Friday. Sometimes I go to school on Saturday. The past few weeks I have been going to school on Saturday. If we don't finish our cadaver lab, or our cadaver, what we were supposed to finish dissecting, then we're required to come on a weekend and finish it up. So I've been going to school on Saturdays also. So if you thought you didn't go to school on Saturday for PA school, you do. You do. And also they have tutoring on Saturdays, so I also go to tutoring on the classes I feel that I'm struggling in. So usually I'll be on Saturdays at school from like 8 to 6, so I'll be there all day. So usually I do go to school 6 days a week. Sundays are more my chill day, where I just go out to eat. I watch some American Horror Story since I love that show. But most of the day I am studying. There's been days where I study 12 hours, so it just really depends. But that is my schedule. I'll probably talk about that later. But I just want to talk about the classes I had this semester and the classes that I'm struggling with also. Alright guys, so I hope this video was of benefit for you guys. You guys are awesome. Thank you for all the comments you guys leave. New viewers, welcome to my channel. And thank you. Alright guys, if you guys have any comments, any suggestions for me to make better quality videos for you guys, or new topic you guys want me to talk about, just comment below. or send me an email and I'll get back to you as soon as I can, okay? Alright, talk to you guys later.